Now we join our correspondent Joshua Imaaya, who has been monitoring the developments in Mokwa Local Government Area of Niger State. Hello Joshua, what updates do you have for us about this development?
Well, good afternoon to you. I am live at Angwa Ausawa, the major community by the Mokwa Local Government of Niger State. As you can see behind me is a bulldozer trying to decongest the culverts where they found some bodies earlier of the victims that suffered, that were actually swept by the floodwater into the culvert. So recovery and rescue efforts are still ongoing as the authorities are trying to salvage as more bodies they can pick up from the rubble, and the crane there actually is trying to dig into the culvert to see if there's any property, any body that is lying behind there. So earlier on, the wife of the governor was here. She paid a visit to this particular scene where she commiserated with some of the victims of this flooding, and well, that is all we have now, as this place is an active scavengers scene as they are trying to pick up metal from under the rubble to gather as much as they can gather from their own benefits. And one thing I will tell you for sure is that the citizens here, they are affected by the flooding and they have nowhere to run to. Now the camp that was set up out of the benevolence of a few persons, that camp is not functional, as nothing is happening there. There is no pipe-borne water for these people. Normally when situations like this happen, what you see is humanitarian efforts swooping in to help them cushion the effect of the flooding. But unfortunately for residents of Mokwa, the case is not the same. No food. They are being given raw food material in nylon bag. The question is as to how that would actually salvage the entire situation is still underplaying, as they are particularly challenged by this incident.
Joshua, it's interesting that you will talk about the IDP camps, because I was going to ask about the displaced persons and where they are being camped. But now that you have mentioned that the facilities are dilapidated, what is the government doing about it, or what are they saying that they will do about it? Are they just going to look on while displaced persons struggle to find shelter?
Yes, that is one question that has been lingering on for now. Well, the particular building they reserved for emergency response and emergency shelter for these persons is actually a primary school within this area. And when I got there this morning, as early as 6, I found nothing more than 10 persons at that particular place, and they told me that that is the camp that was set aside for this case. Well, I took a stroll around that particular premises. I saw that there was no pipe-borne water, there was no place for them to take their bath, there was no conducive environment for them to lay their heads, neither was there any preparations for them to sleep. So unfortunately, that place is not serving the interests of these people, as they are back into this community. From the earlier hours of today, they were camped here, they stood here waiting for any intervention that would come to them, and they've been here. If you should take a look at my right hand side, you will see that some of them, they are scattered around, sitting in groups, in clusters, family members all together with them. This has been the case here in Mokwa. There is no help in sight. The only help they could get is from their friends, well-wishers and neighbors who have taken their case up to help them, who can give them a clothing or two, or who can give them spaces to sleep as well as food to eat. So the humanitarian efforts here is personal. Is on a person-to-person basis, as people here, they are trying to render as much help they can render to each other. Well, it is noteworthy that the emergency authorities actually provided relief material. But the question is, how is this relief material distributed amongst citizens here? We understand that several bags of rice and cereals as well as ingredients was distributed. But unfortunately, if you should see the particular thing they are handing over to these people, they are just mere bags, mere nylon handed to them. Now, if you should hand that particular nylon to them, how would they cook this thing? So what is expected is that cooked meals should be brought to these people, conducive environment should be created, medical aid should be rendered to these people, but unfortunately, we are not seeing that here in Mokwa Local Government of Niger State.
All right, thank you, Joshua Imaaya. It's quite a disheartening situation there in Mokwa Local Government of Niger State, and we're hoping that the government does something. Unfortunately, some have lost their lives and they're still digging through the rubble to find the remains. But for those who are displaced, we're hoping that they find a place, especially for shelter and food. Thank you so much, Joshua, for the good work you're doing there, and please stay safe.